Comedy is the universal language that breaks barriers, unites strangers, and reflects the quirks of society back to us. From slapstick to satire, to stand up to social media sketches, comedy has evolved into a rich tapestry of diverse voices that showcase different perspectives and different voices. On this episode of Daily Grind, we have none other than Ace of Spades, the social media sensation who turns everyday situations into comedy and makes us laugh at ourselves and sometimes try to imitate his run. This is Daily Grind. Let's talk about comedy, how it affects us, how skits are important, and how it can bring the world together. This is Daily Grind. I'm Saif. Let's get into it. Yeah, yeah.
You're listening to Daily Grind with
Y'all ready to rock?
We'll be indulgent.
What up? This is your boy Saif. This is Daily Grind, and as always, I'm back to motivate and encourage you. And I have people, friends from all over life that I find interesting. They do dope things. And so today, I got my good friend Ace. You might have seen him on social media. He got 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He's almost 4 million on TikTok. He does his thing. He makes a lot of people laugh. A lot of people enjoy life, really. What up? What's going on, Ace?
Nothing much. It's actually 2.3 million on YouTube and 5.3 million on TikTok, but that's all right. It's okay. It's okay.
My bad. It's the numbers. Look, the numbers change probably daily, so
Yeah, honestly.
I don't keep up with it. Anyway, first off, how you been? How you been? What's going on with you?
No, same old, same old. I'm just always working. You know how it is. I'm always trying to come up with new ideas on how to make what's entertaining, what's funny, what's relevant. Trying to see what works, what sticks, what lands, because social media, as you know, a trend or a topic can move on like that.
Yeah.
Because a week in internet terms is like a month. Like
hmm
people move on to things so quickly. So you always gotta adapt constantly.
How do you keep up creatively though? How do you do it?
Oh man, that's a question that a lot of people have been asking me. So sometimes I think there are different methods. Some people go on social media and they try to get ideas from others, get inspired by others or they see something. That is one way to go about it. But me personally, I look at it like this. I look at it as if you do that, you're gonna find yourself just, okay, that's funny. Okay, that's funny too. And you're not gonna know what to make an idea from because you get caught in a loop of doom scrolling over and over and over, and you don't even realize it. What I do personally is I just think about like common things that might happen or things that might relatable things that because a lot of people share a lot of the same ideas and thoughts and don't even realize it. So I think about, okay, what's something we've all experienced? What's something that's what's something that bothers all of us eternity, totally. And I'm thinking, oh, I know what bothers me when I get a notification on my phone of, oh, this happened a year ago, and you're just like, dang, a year ago today I was thriving. What happened?
Uh,
So I try to think of stuff that's relatable. That's something you could all like relate to.
Understood. So I know, I mean, you from Colonia, right?
Yes.
Colonia, New Jersey. We in the house, Jersey. We everywhere. That's how we do. We got all the talent. I gotta say, we got all the talent. Y'all can't even hate. But
Yep.
you started with the running videos. What got you? Like what spurred that? The running video.
Man, if I had a nickel. So that video was by accident.
Okay.
So I used to do a couple running videos. My first one that I ever did was to a Mario Judah song, and it was to what was the video? Oh, it was a video about Fortnite. And I did it as a joke, like because I remember the first time I did my first running video, I remember just thinking because my basement it was the week of Christmas, like right before Christmas, and my basement flooded and we had all this furniture, so I had to take out all this furniture and everything. And then I had all this clear space in my basement. And I thought to myself, wow, this is a lot of space. I could let me just make a running video that I think is funny. I thought nothing of it. I was like, you know what? This is a funny idea. I'm gonna do it as a joke. So I made a couple running videos and I posted it. I thought nothing of it. It was like a throwaway video. And I didn't know I went viral till everyone was like, bro, you're all over TikTok. I was like, and this came out, this is December. And I'm like, I am? And this is when I had 300,000 followers on TikTok. And these videos just got me to like what was it? These videos one got me to 1.5 million before the new year ended.
Oh
And I
wow.
was like, oh, cool, 1.5 million. I'm okay with that. I'm all right. A million, awesome. Then I did another song with Owl City called When Can I See You Again? And it was like, it's been fun, but now I've got to go. So I did a couple of videos like that. And that got me to 2.3 million. And I was like, oh, all right, cool. I'm all right with that. Then the big one the one that like really escalated everything was it was in February. And I remember specifically it was the fact of it was a Black Eyed Peas song, and
Um,
it's one of the songs that I listen to when I work out, when I go to the gym, and just a song I listen to occasionally. And I was like, oh, let me just make a video. What's something we can all relate to when there's a fight in school and everyone's trying to see what's going on. And I made that video. That's the one that
took it up.
blew up intensely. That's the one that everyone was just like, this is really crazy. Wow, everyone loves this one, this and that. And then more and more people kept on wanting to see it more and more. And I was just having fun doing it. And within that week, no, within 9 days, I went from 2.3 million to 5.2 million. That and I was one of the fastest growing creators of that time. And keep in mind, I didn't know I was going viral until I saw compilations of me on YouTube. So I saw companies reaching out, and I'm just like, okay, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess. So that's how that happened.
Did you start out wanting to make content, or was that just something that
So
I was just being funny and then it clicked?
so before the I made comedy videos, I would do if you go on my older videos, I would do a lot of movie reviews. I'm a big movie buff. I love movies.
Well,
So
yeah,
I
right
would talk about
now.
movies. Yeah. So all I would do is talk about movies and like I would do movie reviews. That was like that's how I got my 300,000 at first. Is I would just talk about movies, etc., etc. And I liked it, but I was just like that's why I switched my content from movie to comedy. Because before the running video, I made other comedy sketches and bits that some of them hit, most of them missed, and I used to just make a bunch of movie reviews. But then I was just like, this is too easy because I know I'm a funny person, and movie reviews is just like there's always going to be content. There's no real challenge to it. And that's when I stepped away from movie reviews to comedy type videos.
So how do you feel? So is it just you that's a creative by yourself, or do you have people you throw ideas off of?
So so the thing about me is that when I make a video, that's why a lot of people ask, "Oh, you barely upload anymore. You barely make any videos." And I'm just like, "Yeah, because I don't have an idea. I don't like to take other people's jokes. I don't like to do trends. I don't like to do what's popping. I like to do what I think is
It's
I
fun.
will I will never want to look back and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I made that video. I still don't have there's not a single video I regret making. Every video I've ever made, I like to look back and be like, I made that video. I don't want to do trend. I don't want to do something that's viral. I want to do something that I genuinely think is good and I enjoy. So that's why I don't upload a lot because if I don't have a good idea that I think by myself, if I don't have a good idea, then I'm not gonna upload it. I'm not gonna post it.
I understand that. So, do you consider yourself like? Now, I'm a comedy buff. I love comedy. I love going to comedy clubs. I'm in the city all the time. I'm on the East Coast, so I love comedy. Do you think you would do like stand up, or do you just think you're purely sketch show comedy?
Man, you know what's crazy? A lot of people ask me that. They say, "Oh, would you ever do stand up? You're funny. Would you ever do stand up? Oh, you have such a good energy. You're very good at talking in front of people. You make everyone laugh wherever you go." And
Mhm.
I understand that. I know I'm a funny person, but I can also recognize that stand up comedy is hard.
Very
That
hard.
is no easy thing to do. I understand that is an insane thing. First off, you have to have courage.
Hmm.
Second, if you're just starting off, they will eat you alive. And
Yeah.
I think it's really, how hard it is to come up with a punchline, a setup, a callback to that set punchline later on within your run.
Hmm.
Like it's a skill, it's a talent. Like, and I'm not saying I couldn't do it, but I don't see myself like say if I was at a bar or whatever and they had like an open mic, maybe, but
Yeah.
like I don't see myself doing it. It's something I've thought about. Of course, I've thought about it, but I just don't I don't think that could see myself doing it anytime soon. At
Okay.
least not professionally. But I do get that question a lot if I would ever do stand up stuff like that. I solely believe in like sketches and comedy bits and like funny, relatable videos, like sketch. Like my favorite my sketch show is Key and Peele,
Yes,
and it goes without saying, the Chappelle Show, obviously. Like I think sketch comedy is so hilarious because you got to plan it out. It's like a little episode. I love sketch comedy more than anything, and the Chappelle Show was revolutionary in sketch comedy.
it really like well that's one of my favorite. Well, Dave Chappelle is my favorite comedian, hands down. Period. I do you think like so I don't see many sketch shows like we used to. Like you had Key and Peele, you had the Chappelle Show. Saturday Night Live was like popping back then. You had Mad TV. You had a lot of sketch comedy shows, but I don't see. I mean, it's more on YouTube now. There's a lot of funny people on YouTube.
Yeah,
You don't see it on like national broadcast TV. Would you want to work on a show that brought that back?
it's hard to say because when you say TV, like, are you talking about streaming or like actual television? Because TV
Streaming. Like
is
TV is
dying.
now synonymous, so I mean streaming.
Uh, Maybe because there's one Netflix show. I don't know if you heard about it. It's a sketch comedy show called I Think You Should Leave. It's a comedy show with this white guy, Tim Robinson,
Okay.
and it's like a sketch. It is hilarious. It's a Netflix original. Surprisingly, brings back that nostalgia of old comedy shows because it's really funny. So would I yeah, I would. I would actually. Yeah, I
It,
really think it could make a comeback.
I think especially one good thing about you and other creators that make comedy sketches and content is I think as people as a nation we need to laugh. We don't. It's like very hard to come together on regular stuff. That the only thing we got left is laughter. Do you think that? I mean, you get comments all the time. You get messages all the time. Do you get messages of people just saying like, "Thank you, I needed this laugh." Um,
Yeah. So when people even now, like it still blows my mind when people be like, "Oh man, your videos are so funny. Oh man, your videos really brighten my day. Yo, I used to watch your videos when I'm in a bad mood." Like even now, like because I've been doing it for a while. I've been doing it for almost 4 years now. Like 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds, bro. I used to watch you all the time in high school or when I was a teenager, and a lot of people would be like, "Oh man, you used to watch me. Well, why not now?" But now I look at it like, wow. I was someone you watched growing up. That is great to hear. Like I can't get mad at that. Like I was a part of your childhood that I made you laugh. That's some people don't even get that opportunity. I'm so glad I was able to make you laugh.
yeah, influencing people to be honest. On a daily, like you said, the daily life, you make people laugh. And how can you be mad at that? How do you keep your humility through it? So, like again, people see you on the street. I remember when we was out in New York, we got stopped like every few minutes. Hey, you the guy, you the running kid, you the running kid, you the running kid. And we did do you remember? I didn't have TikTok when we first met.
Yeah,
And we had come up with a short bit and you ran and you was like, make a TikTok real quick.
yeah.
I made it and I got like thousands of followers just from you being on my TikTok. Like, how do you stay humble with that? Like, like I can make it pop.
I don't because I look at it like this. I know there are some people that have like my numbers or even lower than my numbers, and they think, man, I'm the shit. Oh, blase, blase. Oh, I'm so cool. At the end of the day, I'm just like, hey, I'm just a guy with a phone that knows how to make some funny videos. I don't think of myself better than anybody. I just know how to make people laugh. Because at the end of the day, it's just a number. And I understand that my audience are individuals that take the time to watch my videos and support me. And I'll never, ever, 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 ever. I say thank you as often as I can. I'll never let that ever get past me. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to have the foundation that I stand on today. I understand that. I also understand that I also got very lucky, and but with that luck came hard work that I put into it. I know where I stand, and I stand with the fact that I'm just a guy with a phone, and I got extremely lucky, and I was able to use that luck. And that's just, I don't know. I don't, because I know there are some influencers or some people that do videos that think they're all that, and their ego is filled. I don't think of that. Like I even when like for an example, I was at an event and all these influencers were talking about their numbers. Oh, I have 2 million. Oh, I have 500,000. This and that. And at the time, I had 5 million on TikTok, and they're like, and I was standing in a corner. I'm very like I don't brag about what
Stop,
I
let
do.
me
I
out
don't.
the way.
I'm very like quiet and stuff. So they're like, "Oh, how many do you have?" I said, 5 million. 5 million? What are you doing sitting over there by yourself? I'm like, I just don't. I don't brag about it. Showing off and bragging is the fool's victory. I don't
Mm.
believe in bragging. I don't believe in showing off. I don't believe in that. I just think it's kind of stupid, in my opinion, to show off and brag and all that. But that's just me.
I agree with that. I mean, it's not to put nobody down who finds their value in, whatever they accomplish. I just think, kind of like you, I'm here to do a job and I'm blessed to be able to do it. And I'm gonna keep it that way. And when people brag about what they do, it kind of gets cringy after a while. Like, we get it, I get it. You're famous, you're known, quote unquote, and it kind of takes away from your appeal. But I can say to you, like even since I know you, you've always been like down to earth, chill. Like we was in a minivan in Manhattan. I forgot what we was doing. We was doing something. Oh, we was filming heist.
Yeah.
We was filming heisters. And he was always just chill. He was like, "Oh, I think I took the train," and he was like, "You want to ride back to the Jersey?" And I was like, "Oh, wow!" Like,
Yeah, I was like, yeah, why would you just take right back to Jersey? Why would we take the train?
but you don't like in the moment you don't think like this guy has 5 million um followers. Like, why would he want to do that? But
Oh,
at the same time, that's credence to who you are as a person. You know what I mean? How do you hold on to that? Like, what grounds you?
that's wow. Out of all the questions I've ever been asked, that's a good one. Wow. I would say gravity. No. Um,
That would ground you too until we figure out a way.
yeah. So I guess it's just like because I've seen other social media influencers. I've seen, like you said, like they're very I have this many followers and they think they're all hot and stuff. But it's just like I I don't know. Like even when I meet people outside now, they're like, "Oh, you're so humble. You're so nice," and I'm just like, "Well, yeah, I put my shoes on just like you, one leg at a time. I like if I tell people if you really know me as a person,
Hmm.
I go to all these events. You think I'm living a cool, luxurious life? If I'm not doing that, all I'm doing is watching TV or playing video games or working. I live a very boring life. Like I'm I'm just the guy that makes videos to make people laugh. That's all I am. I tell people they're like, "Oh, you're a content creator. You're an influencer." No, I'm just a guy who likes to make people laugh. I don't think of myself, and I never will.
Mm. So I know well, speaking to all of the places you've been, what is the wildest thing that you've been to after like, going to LA, where you are now?
Wild, I wouldn't know what to say because I done a lot of had a lot of experiences. I'll say my most memorable was either the Spider-Man No Way Home premiere,
Okay.
the red carpet, or as of recent, the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere, or when I got to shoot a video when me and Terry Crews shot a YouTube video together.
Oh, you did with Terry Crews?
Yeah, him and I did an escape room together on my channel. I don't know because I don't really look at it like, and I understand to some people like that. Oh, you did all this, you do all this cool stuff, but I'm just like, yeah, but I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you guys. I tell people that all the time. Like, it's because of you I get to have these opportunities. It's because of you I get to make these cool videos. It's because of you guys. Like, it is literally because of you.
Okay.
So that's why when people message me, they're like, "Oh my God, you respond to me. Oh my God, you replied. Oh my God, you actually took the time to talk to me. You took the time to watch my videos. That's the least I could do."
That's true. But I mean, I don't know if I can reply back to 5 million people,
I
but
do get a lot of messages. It's hard. I try to at least get 20 out a day.
okay. So you did a video with Terry Crews. If you could pick any celebrity, dead or alive, who would you want to do a video with?
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. Doing what? Running from him?
I Either Bruce Lee or Mike Tyson.
Okay, Mike Tyson, he's still here, so that's still possible. And I can see you doing something with Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson is
Yeah.
cool as well.
Or Shaq.
Well,
Shaq too.
I can see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Shaq,
yeah.
you know what time it is. Mike, you know what time it is. You got a fight coming up, Mike. Just
Yeah.
going.
Which for some reason he's gonna lose. I
He's
just know
gonna
it.
lose. I
I'm not
know.
saying he could lose, but he will lose.
Why you say that?
I think it's scripted.
You think that fight is scripted? You think what is he, Jake Paul?
Logan Paul, yeah, I don't think he should win, but I know he will win.
Why? I mean, you think he paid off? Like, yo, we gonna pay you, take a dive.
Yeah, he's done it before, Logan Paul.
Woohoo!
He's paid the Ben Askren fight, the Canelo, not the Canelo fight, but but Logan Paul hasn't lost a fight yet.
This is true. I mean, I'll be slowly disappointed if Mike Tyson take a fall. I'll be honest.
I mean,
Mike,
the man doesn't really box that often. Is it really crazy to hear that he would take, what have they said? Oh, 2 million. 2 million. I think he's getting paid like he's getting a couple million for the fight itself. But think
yeah,
about, oh, we'll pay you an extra if you lose. He doesn't box anymore. What does he have to lose?
he already makes millions, so you think he would take that? I don't know. Mike don't seem
Hey, one thing I learned when it comes to millionaires, they will never say no to another million.
okay. I take your advice on that one. I don't be around a lot of.
Millionaires won't say no to another million. They'll like when people are like, "Oh my god, these millionaires scammed us. They have all this money. Why would they do that?" You answered your own question.
So who for you is your Rushmore of comedy?
I would either say Dave Chappelle,
Yeah,
Chris Rock,
Chris.
but my favorite would probably be old Bernie Mac specials.
Mm.
I watch a lot of
So
even Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey in his olden golden days, he
it's
was funny too.
crazy. You made this man a grandpa. He is a grandpa, but you made this man a grandpa.
Like basically the kings of comedy. They were really something.
Miss Bernie though. Bernie, man,
Bernie
today,
had something else about him. He just
if Bernie was alive today, it'd have been. I don't like. They'd have tried to cancel him, but it wouldn't have happened.
nah.
It wouldn't have happened.
Even old Eddie Murphy specials are funny. I don't know if you've seen the old Eddie Murphy
Yeah,
comedy
talking
special.
about
Yeah,
Raw and Delirious and all that. But you see, like I just saw. So I watch. You ever watch Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee?
I don't know. I never seen that.
That's a Jerry Seinfeld. He got a show where he just picks up comedians in his car and they just drive.
Oh, I've seen clips of it on YouTube. I've seen clips.
So yeah, Eddie Murphy on it, and he asked him, and then he was like, "I can't do it anymore because they're gonna cancel me." And I'm like, "So." I think sometimes comedy needs to be on the edge because it's the only real safe space to talk about real thoughts. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, no, because who said? And Dave Chappelle made it a bit. He did a bit about that you can't. It's comedy. You can't spare everyone's feelings. That's why it's comedy.
Yeah. So what is the skit that for you that's been like that's your favorite? Like I love doing this skit.
Oh wow. Oh, I did one a while back, about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, where when you're playing Uno with your friends,
Mhm.
and when they have like a draw two, and then another draw two, and they start just adding more stuff on. One of those, I made a active shooter, so I made
Oh,
one of
I
those.
gotta see
But
this. See, but you have so many. I gotta scroll back.
yeah, I do. I mean, I don't make as much videos as I used to, but back when I was like, when I first started off, I was making videos more and more and more, and more, like whenever I could. But when you get older and you do it for a while, you realize you can't. It's hard to keep up that consistency. It's hard to keep up that consistency nonstop, especially when you want to appeal to the masses. If you're a content creator or you make videos on the internet, it is impossible to please everybody. It's a losing battle. You won't. You literally can't.
How do you deal with that though? Like at what point did you learn that? Because even for I know grown men, like older, 50, 60, 70 years old, still people please. What point did you like, I just can't, it's not for everybody.
Recently, lately, because I was thinking, why my video is not doing good? Why is this video floppy? Why am I being bothered? Oh, someone left a comment. Oh, bro fell off, this and that, and like I'll go through a whole spiral. Then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute, my videos do fine on other platforms. My money's not, it's not affecting my money. Like, why am I letting some comments bother me? Why am I trying to please everybody? And you can't. And Joe Gatto, the Practical Joker, I talk to him pretty often, and he tells me you can't please everybody. You got to do what makes you happy. You have to do what you enjoy. Because if you're trying to keep constantly appeal to the masses and do what they want, you're not even going to be happy anymore. You're just going to be making videos just to make them,
And you're
and
so
that's
like,
when it becomes a job.
so this for you, it's still you're still in love with it.
I love making videos.
Okay.
That's why I don't upload as much because I don't have like a brand new idea all the time. And there are times where like I don't have any ideas for like a week or two, but then sometimes like I call it like the well of ideas. And then the well will just overflow, and I have ideas. And I realize my biggest problem sometimes is overthinking. Like before I shoot a bunch of videos, I'll be like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to shoot this. Oh, I don't like this video. What am I gonna? How am I going to do it? But I realize I'll spend more time thinking about it than actually doing it.
When you okay, this is for encouragement. This is for people who might want to get into making videos or need that encouragement, right? So you go to different places and you'll shoot a video. Let's say you go to a store. Do you talk to a store owner and say, "Hey, I want to shoot a video," or do you just go out and do it?
Well, I usually, because most of the time stores will be like, no, you're not allowed to shoot. But I don't make videos like, well, at least for me, I don't make videos that's gonna be like a ruckus. I don't make. My golden rule, my one thing is that I never, ever, ever want to be a public nuisance at some point. I
Right.
never want to make a retail worker's job harder or annoyed due to my videos. Because at the end of the day, they have their job, and I'm not trying to get in the way or annoy them or bother them. So if I do shoot a video in the store, it's something quick and something that's not going to bother or affect anybody.
Did you ever find yourself in a situation where you wanted to film something but you just couldn't get it exactly how you wanted it?
A couple times. Let me think of one. I did one video where I'm trying to think. Oh, I wanted to shoot a video in a casino.
Hmm.
But as you've probably been in a casino before, when you're on the floor on the rug, you're
Yeah.
not allowed to film anything.
Yeah.
Like they're strict. They don't even really want you to take pictures on the rug.
Yep.
Like let alone like they're and casinos are strict, and it was at the Caesars, and how it's strict like the big casinos are.
Yep.
And they're like, "Oh, you can't film." I was just like, "All right, I'm not gonna fight them either on it either. It's the Caesar's Palace. Like, who am
Yeah.
I to say no to? Like, what?" So it's stuff like that, where it's just like sometimes you just can't. You gotta if you can't, you gotta find a way to adapt. You find a way, but you just gotta adapt sometimes.
Your career, how long you think it is? 4 or 5 years?
Since 20 December 2020, so about almost 4 years now.
So 4 years full time. At what point do you like this is my full time job?
It was when I moved to LA. No, it was when I left LA. Because when I went to LA the first time, I lived in a content house and I was doing all this TikTok content stuff, and I was living in a mansion and just getting sidetracked and everything. And then when I left, because I realized I was getting distracted, I went home for about a month and a half, and I told myself, all right, I'm gonna go back to LA. But if I go to LA, I'm gonna do it right this time. I'm not gonna get distracted. I'm gonna do this actually work. And that's what I did. I went there. I went back. I drove from Jersey to LA with my stuff
From
in the
where?
car, and I just started working.
You're from Jersey to LA?
Yep.
Solo?
Yep.
How was that?
It's not that bad. People always think, "Oh, that must have been."
That
It's
sounds
really
terrible.
not that. It's just long. It's boring.
Wait, so
It's not
you
that
took
bad
Route
though.
66 all the way over, or
Huh?
took Route 66 all the way over?
Yep.
That sounds terrible. By yourself? What was you listening to? That
I
was,
was just listening to music. I sometimes would just put on a movie in the background just to listen to if I've already seen it. Like it was nice though. I got to see some awesome views, but like it was only like bad when I was driving, and then you'd be like, all right, stay on this road for 200 miles. I finished the 200 miles. It'd be like, all right, stay on this road for 400 miles. I'd be like, oh man. But I only really had to stop. I only stopped two times. I used to do DoorDash and drive all over Jersey. So like driving's never really been like a problem for me. It's not that whenever people say, "Oh, you did it by yourself, you did it across," you drove. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I was all right with it.
I think that's a brave thing for you to do. That's tough though. Who is somebody that's a mentor to you?
Joe Gatto.
Joe Gatto? Okay. Well, like how so? Like what does he help you with?
He helps me when it comes to like ideas sometimes. Like, oh, here for a TV show, he'll give me ideas when it comes to like just not even ideas, just like I spoke to him today. He was telling me how like you just gotta do your own thing and do what makes you happy. Don't compare yourself to other people. Because Joe Gatto's been in the industry for a long time now, and he's just always taught me like to be yourself and be original.
At what point when did y'all meet? Like how did that relationship come about?
He actually reached out to me a while back when I first blew up on TikTok with the "Let's Get It Started," because he was a fan. No, he was he liked my videos a lot. He said it would make him laugh because he loves that song, and he said those videos were so funny. And he reached out to me.
And then he became a mentor figure. So he's out there.
Yeah, like because he loves movies too. We would just talk about movies, and then when I moved to LA, he gave me an agent to meet up with, and he literally just had my back ever since. Like whenever he's in town, he wants to see me. He calls me sometimes. He's just I'm very grateful to have him.
That's a dope. Like not and just talking about that, not a lot of people have that mentorship in their life where if somebody has their back, and I can see people get discouraged because of that. Like for me, I mean, I grew up, my family was kind of tight, but I've always had people in my life that was, yo, I'm a filmmaker, so yo, you can do this. Like you can learn this. This is something that you can handle. And they would just even sometimes when I was like, I can't do this at all, they'd just be like, nah, you can. And you just got
Yeah.
the mind to it. And so that's dope. What happened with the inf now? We were texting back and forth while you was at the content house. What
Yes.
about that made it
So,
a distraction?
because I got flown out to not flown. I went to LA. They put me in a multi-million dollar mansion with all these other content creators. And this is when TikTok was at its prime. And I was, you all these parties, surrounded by all these other influencers, girls, and just all these cool stuff. And living in that situation for free, it's almost hard not to get distracted.
What was the best lesson? What was the lesson you learned besides distraction? What was the best lesson you learned
That LA will change a lot of people, most people, I should say,
for better or for worse?
usually for worse. And I can recognize at one point that LA was changing me and was getting me distracted, which is why I left the first time.
Did you go back?
When I went home for a month and a half and I decided I want to do social media full time,
What were
that's when I was like, all right, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right.
what were you doing before that? Before full time?
Excuse me. Oh, well, before full time, I was just making videos and doing DoorDash.
So you mean you came from humble beginnings for the most part? I mean,
Yeah,
Columbia is not the furthest thing from Hollywood. We know it.
yeah,
Columbia is a small little town between
exactly,
small towns. Yeah, so I don't even
exactly.
know. Columbia is
It's
like
literally
part of
Cologne is one of those places on the map where it's just like you'll miss it. You won't even you'll drive through it and not even know you drove through
But
it.
and to go to LA. So who's the most interesting person you've met besides Joe Gatto? I know Gatto, that's your man.
Terry Crews, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Jake
You was like
Gyllenhaal.
you was nice because if I'd have met Zendaya, I'd have been like, look, Spider Man, look.
I will say when she came out on the red carpet for Spider-Man, you would think someone got shot the way people screamed. It was I've never heard any I to this day I've never heard people get so starstruck
Yeah. Have
over
you been
someone like her.
have you been
Excuse
starstruck?
me?
Have you been starstruck?
Uh Not really.
No.
I mean, I was kind of starstruck when I did my video with Terry Crews the first time, but when because we were working, we were shooting a video together, so I had to keep it professional. But after he left, I was just like, "Oh my god, I just shot a video with Terry Crews."
That's what I've never been starstruck. I actually got a story. I don't even like I'm being hesitant in telling this story just because of what's happening right now. But I think it's funny. It's funny, but it's kind of like it makes sense. So
Yeah.
my father, he used to work at Sony BMG in New York. So he used to work for Bad Boy. And he was a computer network guy. So they had bring your kids to work day. Me and my dad just talked about this recently. And so we go through the day, we go through the studio. This is when TLC came out with No Scrubs. So No Scrubs came out. We recorded No Pigeons in the studio. We had a good old day. End of the day, Diddy calls everybody up to his office. P. Diddy. Now, this is Puff Daddy at the time. So we all go upstairs. And I'm interested in music. So I'm with his producer. We're just talking music. Diddy gets mad at me because he's signing autographs and I don't want one. Like I don't even want to talk to him. Like, and this is before all of this. So me and my dad, we just recently talked about it. I was like, maybe he was mad because I didn't give him no play, and he was my dad.
Honestly,
Baby, you was discernment. You already knew what it was. You just didn't want no parts of it. So I just think it's the most hilarious thing for me that now that all this stuff came out, like, oh, now I get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Now I get
It's
it.
crazy, man. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, like, but he got mad. Like, he legit got mad. His security, I'm not his security. His assistant came over, was like, "Diddy wants to talk to you," and I'm like, "Look, it's not even that deep. I'm more interested in the music. Like, I want to record music." Like, I just thought that was hilarious. If you can tell
Yeah.
somebody, if you can tell somebody or encourage somebody who wants to get into content creation, what would you say?
Don't give up and be consistent. Honestly, it's better off to be original, but be original, be consistent, and don't give up. That's about anything really. I know that's so cliche.
Yeah, I mean it is, but at the same time, it's authentic. Like, people want authenticity, and I think it lacks, especially in places like Hollywood. People want to be famous, and I don't get it because I guess I don't view fame the same way. I view fame as a nuisance. Like, it's cool, you get benefits, but at the same time, if you're a private person, why would you want somebody in your face all the time? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you deal with that?
I don't deal with it as much. Yeah, I mean, I still get people when I'm at the grocery store, but again, I'm also inside a lot too. But not, it doesn't really bother me. Like, even now, when people say, "Oh, can I get a picture?" I'm just like, "Hey, you sure?
You
All
sure?
right."
You sure? And I see
But no,
you.
I don't. I'll never get. It'll just. It's kind of still throws me off to this day, but I'll always be humble about it.
Mm. All right. I mean, again, you've always been humble. What's next for you? What you want to do? Where are you going?
Honestly, I want to get. It's such a. It's such a. Oh, it's such a pain in the ass. It's more like this heist. The heist is like. It's supposed to be out. It's supposed to be made. It's in development hell. You know how that is when it comes to TVs and movies. It's in development hell. Like, it's not that it's not going to be made. It's just a matter of when. Now, I hope it doesn't take 20 years for this show to be made. I hope,
What
I
you?
really hope not.
What process you at? Where you at with it?
We were just, I was talking to my manager about it being on True TV. But True TV is more like a reality thing. So then they were talking about, oh, Peacock. But Peacock is going bankrupt right now.
Oh, yeah, you
So
more than me.
it's this is what I mean by development hell. It's just stuck.
Yeah,
It's just like in the air.
make it a YouTube series and then sell it.
I'm trying to do that's what the show Bel Air did. It was a fan project,
And
and
then,
now it's a TV show.
but if Peacock going bankrupt and they on whatever, mind, that's another stuff for
Yeah.
another thing. Okay, what is one question that you wish somebody would ask you that you've never been asked?
What's my favorite video game or what's my favorite movie? Just a question that one doesn't expect. Like, oh, what's my favorite video game? Red Dead Redemption 2. What's my favorite movie? Baby Driver.
Baby, I remember Baby Driver. You told me that when we was in New York. Baby Driver is your dream. You should
Still my favorite movie of all time.
do another version of that, the black version with you.
Exactly.
All
But yeah,
right, brother. I appreciate you for your time. Before we go, any words of encouragement you want to drop for anybody? This is anybody, not just creators, but anybody. What is something that you learn in life you think people should know?
to think for yourself. A lot of people, we live in a day and age where you don't have to be talented to become famous. Now it's all about popularity makes
Mm.
you famous. And I wish more people were able to think for themselves, but they just want to listen to they just want to listen to someone else, so they don't have to think for themselves, which is the cause of a lot of problems these days. Is that no one wants to think for themselves. And Booker T. Washington, one of my favorite not philanthropists, Booker T. Washington, one of my favorite quotes of his is wrong doesn't wrong isn't right and right isn't wrong just because it's accepted by a majority. A lot of people don't want to think for themselves, and that's the problem. So just think for yourself. It's better to stand on a hill of truth than a what do you call it, a hill of lies.
True, true. Well, of course, thank you for coming on, my man Ace, all the way from the West Coast. I appreciate you taking the time. This is Daily Grind. I'm safe. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like and subscribe. Follow Ace for real. Make your life better. Make my life better because it'll make you laugh, and I don't got to deal with angry people all the time.
Exactly, and they should definitely follow and subscribe and all that other good stuff. Check
Follow.
out your Instagram and everything else.
Appreciate that, brother. I mean, again, I've known you for a few years now. You've always been solid, and when I fly to LA, I'm definitely hit you up to
Or if you come to Vegas,
or if I come back to Vegas. I don't know if you want people to know where you was at now, so I kind of kept it low. But
yeah, just let me know.
all right, say less. Appreciate you. Thank you for your time. You can get back to
Yeah, bro. Just hit me up whenever.
Appreciate you, man. Definitely. As always, it's safe. Peace.
You've just been listening to Daily Grind with Saif. We hope you stay encouraged and motivated. Now get on your grind. Thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share. It really helps us out.